but
yeah, a couple. Maybe not the full set, but
yeah.
Especially with Gideon coming back, it might be a good call.
Yeah, 4 Vampire Hexmage. Matthew Farney is not fooling around, so...
No. I actually think that both of these matchups aren't that great for the Cobblade deck.
Oh, well, should be interesting to see. Maybe Cobblade will be felded in the finals. We're going to find out. It looks like, so Game 3 is just starting. We caught it just in time, and so we'll be hopping over to that match in just a second.
Yep.
What do you think matters in the Pure Steel Paladin versus Vampires matchup? Pure Steel Paladin.
Yeah, Pure Steel Paladin, as always. I think the Vampires deck has to leave up instant speed removal for Pure Steel going into, like, early game you can wait because you don't actually need to kill it on the spot, but going into the late game you just always have to leave up the instant speed removal so that they only get 1 equip out of it at most.
Yeah, I mean, we watched actually the same matchup, not with the players, but the deck matchup yesterday.
Mono black instead of black red, so it's a bit lighter on the lightning bolt side, but it was, Vampires player was ahead, they were going to win. Caleb was really far behind, or it was Nate Pease actually, and then all of a sudden, Pure Steel Paladin, equip, attack you, draw a card, equip, go. Yeah. And all of a sudden they're, back up to 10 life, and the Vampires players just looking at their board like, I'm just dead, and there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, it's hinges on Pure Steel Paladin. When Paladin comes down, everything changes.
Yes.
Otherwise, you've just got a bunch of Flare Husks. We likened it, and obviously this comparison has some holes, but we likened it almost to Dredge yesterday, where it's like, you have all these, 1/1s and, 2/2s that aren't good, and they're might be able to beat your opponent down, but most of the time you have to have your Pure Steel Paladin.
Without Pure Steel Paladin in play, it feels like they have the Leyline of the board, and you're just, beating them down, okay, Putrid Imp, Narcomoeba, Stinkweed, get in there, let's go.
Alright, so here we go. Game 3. Caleb's going to be on the play of this game. Looks like he leads off with a Preordain. Caleb is playing his Pure Steel Paladin deck. He made top 8 of a PTQ with it not too long ago, right?
Yeah, and I believe he did well at some 3K or something with it.
Very cool. And Matthew is playing Vampires. Pretty stock Black Red Vampires, except for those Hex Mages. Everything else, besides the 4 Vampire Hex Mages, is just totally normal.
Caleb has a turn 2 Firewalker.
And this will decide who faces Cobblade in the finals. Jarvis, who worked on the blue-white deck, said that the blue-white deck would much rather face Vampires for the reasons you stated. No good way to remove Pure Steel Paladin. You have 2 Dismembers and 2 Oblivion Rings. Otherwise, that Paladin is just going to be completely unstoppable.
Yeah. The Oblivion Ring's not even that good because, mid-game Paladin's just going to drop down, do all its work, and then, you pass back by the time you've done that, Oblivion Ring it. Maybe it has a Warren piece on it by then.
Right.
Maybe it's just already done all the work it needs to do. After the first 12 mana it generates, does it really have to do much more?
Yeah, it's absurd how much mana that card generates. I mean, not in a totally broken Storm combo kind of way, but just I can equip all my equipment for free.
It's kind of like a Venerated Teacher was in Rise of the Eldrazi draft.
Yeah.
You Venerated Teacher and you generated 26 mana, but really you just leveled up 4 guys twice.
Yeah.
Matthew passes again.
Not going to see the old Venerated Teacher, Tendrils of Agony.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
That's for later today in the Legacy portion. In the meantime, Caleb serves in with his core Firewalker against Matthew Farney. And it looks like he's looking at a sort of Feast and Famine. Yep, there's Feast and Famine. And then he slams it down, passes back to Matthew Farney. Now, sort of Feast and Famine, pretty good against that Vampires deck.
Especially on a Firewalker.
And on a Firewalker.
Protection from everything.
Yeah, you have to Gatekeeper it down pretty much.
Well, it looks like he's going to be doing that.
Yeah,
so.
Matthew has Gatekeeper. It's got to come down here. I mean, you could try and...
Actually, it might not be. He does have Dismembers. It might just be better for him to leave up the removal spell so that if he Gatekeepers, Caleb can just play another guy and suit it up, and that's just,
Or just hardcast Dismember main phase. Interesting.
Oh, so he's going to set up so he can Gatekeeper next turn with a land up, so Dismember whatever he plays to get the sword on it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Caleb has another Firewalker.
Oh, man.
And a Pure Steel Paladin. Figuring out which one he wants.
Does he have any other equipment in there? I think I see one in the back of his hand, but I'm not sure if that's a land or an equipment.
Yeah, I can't really tell anything beyond the first 2 cards.
All right, so there's Firewalker. Caleb's going to suit it up. But Matthew is going to untap and play Gatekeeper Mal here, I think.
Probably with a land up so that he can Dismember. He does have a Shatter in his hand.
Oh, and a Shatter, too. Making sure that sort of Feast of Famine doesn't stick around.
I've seen a lot of Manic Vandals in these decks, but No, Shatter is definitely really good. It kills a lot of things that Manic Vandal might not kill at the right time. Like this sort of Feast and Famine.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, being able to kill that Feast and Famine mid-combat could be a total blowout.
Yes.
And I think we're going to see Gatekeeper here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's the Gatekeeper. That'll force Caleb to sacrifice. It doesn't target the creature, so protection from black doesn't help that Firewalker stay alive.
Yeah, protection from all your opponent's colors, still dead.
Gatekeeper Malakir, certainly a powerful card. Been played ever since it was really previewed in Zendikar. So.
Yep.
See, Caleb has access to 5 mana now. A little flooded for his Fury Shield Paladin deck. He does have the Paladin in his hand, but...
He does have a lot of lands in his deck, to be fair.
Does have a lot of lands. He can put them to good use, play a lot of equipments.
Trinket Mage.
Alright, there's the Trinket Mage.
He's probably going to get a Flayer Husk just to get more bodies.
Seems likely. And the next turn maybe Caleb goes Paladin, Husks, try and find another equipment.
Yeah.
Hit Metalcraft.
But it looks like the Shatter is going to be really important in this game. Just
yeah,
all these bodies that would otherwise make it a problem, or make this sort of problem, are just not going to be at all an issue because of the Shatter.
And there's Flayer Husk. So Caleb will probably go to equip the sword this turn and pass, right?
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to drop the Flayer Husk. And then
correct.
Matt could attack. Caleb probably won't block. Doesn't want to risk it. Maybe
you probably don't attack because that's just like the biggest.
That's just a giveaway.
Yeah, not really a giveaway. It's just. I think it's probably better to keep your life total high as the Vampires player. Like going deep, if you can beat the Pure Steel Paladin, like keep the Pure Steel Paladin off the board, you're going to win. You got a Lightning Bolt for that Trinket Mage in response.
All right, there we go. Much better. Don't have to burn the Shatter yet.
Yeah, especially because Bloodghast Recursion, like you just have these guys to keep sending in over and over.
Right.
Especially if you can beat the sword, then you don't really care about going that deep into the game.
Looks like Matt is just changing his sleeve real fast. Seems like he drew Lava Cloud Reaches. That was a card that he changed. In any case. What is that black card on the far right to his hand?
Well, he has a Shatter and a Ratchet Bomb. That's all I could see.
Okay.
I thought I saw a second Dismember earlier, too.
Alright, so down comes Ratchet Bomb, followed by Lava Cloud Reaches. And Matthew passes it back. So Caleb's sitting at 18 life, Matthew at 16 life. Caleb with sort of Feast and Famine, Matthew with a Ratchet Bomb and a Gatekeeper Malakir. Now, I think we're going to see Pure Steel Paladin come down for Caleb Durward here.
I think it's about time.
I mean, he knows Matthew could have the removal spell, but I think Caleb knows that if Matthew doesn't have the removal spell, he's just going to be able to run away with the game.
I mean, even if he...
Yep, there's the Paladin. Pays one for Flayer Husk.
Regardless of what he thinks, that Ratchet Bomb's soon going to become the removal spell, so he's got to really act now.
And if you're Matthew, I would just kill the Paladin right now.
Just immediately.
I mean, assuming he has a removal spell in his hand. This little 3-card Monty. All right, dismembers the Paladin.
Yep.
And
goes to 14.
That's the way to do it. Now Caleb just has no draw engine, stuck with a Flayer Husk with a sword on it. Not the most exciting thing.
Definitely not.
Now that Ratchet Bomb is interesting. He can use it right now and just get rid of the Germ if he wants to.
I think he wants to start pumping up the Ratchet Bomb to 2 so he can kill any future Paladins or swords.
Did he not pump up the Ratchet Bomb that turn?
I don't think he did.
Yep.
He's just going to kill the Germ.
Just going to kill the Germ. Attacks for 2.
Okay. I don't know about that. I don't want it to kill any swords or Paladins. I'd rather just use my Ratchet Bomb to kill cards that I think actually matter.
I agree. I think I might have not done that there. That's pretty aggressive, especially with only a Gatekeeper in play. But
it's only a couple damages. It looks like Caleb has a Dispatch in hand and another Flayer Husk.
All right, well, there's the Flayer Husk. That'll turn the Dispatch online. I imagine we'll probably see that Highborn dispatched.
Yeah, sometime soon.
Yeah, see, and if he still had... So in response, shatter the Flayer Husk? Oh, wow. Matthew is super aggressive.
This is super aggro.
Dispatch the Highborn in response.
This is...
Yeah, Matthew being super aggressive with his cards in hand. I mean, I think this almost feels like a game of Limited where one player is spending their, removal spells on like little blockers or something that doesn't really matter, and then they're going to lose the long game or something else. I'm not saying that's necessarily what's going to happen here, but it's certainly a possibility because that sort of Feast and Famine is going to be a big issue if Caleb draws a single creature.
Yeah, maybe Matthew's just assuming that he's so much removal that it doesn't matter. Maybe he has a second Shatter that we don't know about. Oh, Lava Claw Reaches serves in for a couple damage.
All right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, if he's a second shatter, I think that play makes a lot of sense.
I guess if he just has the Lava Claw reaches, it's kind of reasonable. It's a lot of damage with that reaches right there.
Caleb plays Inkmoth Nexus, okay.
Ooh.
And has to start serving in for 4 poison a turn.
I don't necessarily think that guy racing is gonna get there. It needs to block almost at this point.
Aaron does not have, or not Aaron. Matthew does not have poison cards in his deck. Okay, there we go. Things are fixed up. All right, so Matthew serves in with both those. Probably gonna see him pump up that Lava Claw reaches, assuming Caleb doesn't block with Inkmoth Nexus.
I put Caleb to 5, which is very, very, very within burn range.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, Caleb would have to maybe draw Basilisk Caller or something.
Or Firewalker again.
Firewalker.
That guy would be pretty good here. Gains a life off a bolt, blocks the Lava Claw reaches without dying.
What Caleb's got to be thinking here is, if I block with this Inkmoth Nexus, how can I win this game? And it looks like Caleb just decides to take the damage.
Yep. Puts him to 5. Or 7? Didn't pump?
Looks like Matthew did not pump. Instead held up 2 mana. Means maybe he's got a Shatter in his hand, so maybe he does have that second Shatter.
Yeah.
And Shatter is a card that's insane in this matchup. Sometimes you bring it in, you're like, man, I never want to draw 2 of these. I just need one at the right time.
There's just any removal spell, really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of removal spells in this deck.
Yeah, Matthew Farney has the removal.
Like, could be Dismember, Lightning Bolt, Go for the Throat, Swords, Thirst, Shatter. Post board, he could in theory have almost, 18 removal spells that are instant speed that you can just cast from his hand. 19, actually, I think. 18? Yeah, 18. That's.
So Caleb activates Inkmoth Nexus, gives it the Sword of Feast and Famine, and hasn't attacked yet. He's deciding what else he wants to do. He tapped 2 mana there for a second. Maybe he's got another play in his hands. All right, so he taps 2.
Thinking about whether he also wants to put the Flare Husk on.
Yeah, deciding if he wants to equip the Flare Husk, deciding if he wants to play the card in his hands.
If he equips the Flare Husk, he's probably just dead to Lightning Bolt, but.
I mean, it seems like he's probably dead to Lightning Bolt either way.
Yeah.
I don't know what the card in his hand is.
If it's Core Firewalker, he's not dead, but.
Right.
David Mitchell and Ryan King, please report to the draft open area.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what Caleb could have drawn here to pull him out of the situation.
Please report to the draft open area.
Look over Caleb's deck list. Maybe S Champion, that'd be a pretty good draw.
Yeah, S Champion would be really good. It's Metal Crafted.
Other than that.
Actually, S Champion, you can block with the Inkmoth Nexus because it untaps with Swords, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, Inkmoth Nexus can go on offense and defense here. Nice little man-land synergies. So it looks like Caleb taps his mana, untaps his mana, thinks about it. All right, she says not to do anything else, just attacks with Inkmoth Nexus.
Looks like Matthew just takes it down to 11.
Right.
Or not 11. 3 poison.
3 poison, correct.
Yes.
Matthew
Discards a Lacerator.
Lacerator. Means he's hiding the other card in his hand.
Mortar Pod.
Mortar Pod, okay.
I don't know why he thought about that then. I guess he wants to move the Sword, but, you could just assume he doesn't have the Lightning Bolt, but just get the Mortar Pod into play and tap the next if he tries to kill it and make the mana up.
So I think what
he doesn't have a body if he does that, so.
Yeah, I think what happens is if he equips Flare Husk and the Nexus gets bolted, then Caleb can't play anything, right?
Yeah.
And then
you
the
can
game
play the Mortar Pod. He taps the Nexus for mana in response. Because it goes to a 4/4, otherwise he has to do it. Yeah.
Sure.
But, then he has to blow the Mortar Pod without putting the Sword on it, and that's just not really where you want to be.
Yeah. Matthew draws his card.
Lightning Bolt does it. If he has a land, Gatekeeper does it.
Does Lightning Bolt do it?
Yeah, he just wakes up the Lava Claw reaches, crunches him with both guys. He didn't pump last turn, actually. So, no, it's not do it.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt doesn't do it.
Didn't use his mana last turn, either.
Yeah, I'm curious what he was holding up his mana for. Is he just trying to bluff?
Yeah, he discarded the Lacerator, too.
Man. And he hasn't jammed down a Shatter or anything similar yet, so I'm kind of curious what Matthew's last card is, or at least what the card he held in his hand last turn was.
Right.
Because, like you said, that 2 damage should make a big, big difference in this
Right,
race.
it would put him to dead with lightning bolt. Yeah, all the plays I was thinking about for Caleb last turn, all assumed that was true.
Man. Yeah, Matthew's got to think about what to do. It's a tight margin situation here.
Yeah.
Make it or break it time. What do you think? Do you think Matthew has to dismember in his hands? I think if he had Shatter, he would have cast it, right?
Sure.
All right, Gatekeeper. So he activates the Nexus in response, sacrifices the Nexus.
Okay.
Plays a Viserys here. Passes back. Now, Caleb can't afford to attack unless he drew another threat, right? If Caleb drew a creature, then he might be able to attack. Otherwise, he has to hold back.
Right.
Be able to deal with the impending army from Matthew Farney.
Including the man land.
Right, yeah, the Lava Cloud reaches hiding under this Dragon Skull Summit, so represents a lot of damage. That's 1, 2, 3 attack. That's a 5-2 essentially. Or sorry, a 4-2.
Yeah. I mean, if that guy connects, it's safe.
Alright, so it looks like Matthew's going to sacrifice his Viserys here to scry.
I think Caleb passed.
Yep. Caleb passed. Matthew's choosing to scry 1. How do you like that scry?
It's fine. Like on any attack that Matthew was going to make, the Mortar Pod could just block and shoot down the Seer to prevent the damage anyway, so it doesn't really alter the attacks.
Sure. Alright, so Matthew ships the card to the bottom with a scry, draws a new card. Now, what did he draw? Matthew's certainly taking his time, does not want to mess this up. Also, there's a question at what point, like, is a suicide attack profitable? What's in Caleb's hand?
Not profitable quite yet. Puts him to 3 with 2 Gatekeepers in play,
Right.
so...
And if he had put Caleb to 5 life, that'd be a much different story, right? He could bring down to 1 with the Gatekeeper and then dead next turn if he doesn't have anything.
Exactly. That mana should have probably been spent that turn somehow.
Yeah, I'm curious what Matthew was holding on to. He had to just been bluffing, right? Because he emptied his hand last turn.
It looks like this attack's happening. Maybe he just drew the Lightning Bolt.
All right, well, so with all 3.
Caleb probably just blocks down this man lane.
This looks like what's going to happen. Block the man land, take 4.
Goes to 3.
Caleb at 3. What did Matt draw?
Caleb could have a Flash Freeze or a Negate. Maybe that's what he's thinking about.
There are some options. Yeah, so Matthew was bluffing when he left mana up that turn. His hand was Lacerator Seer, I think.
Or Gatekeeper.
Or Lacerator Gatekeeper. Either way, it's both sorcery speed spells.
Yeah, cards that really couldn't interact there. Maybe
What?
he just wanted to not... I don't know why he didn't pump.
I mean, either he was trying to represent a Shatter or something to make Caleb think twice, which, to be fair, he did make Caleb think twice. It's also possible he just forgot. There's some discussion happening as the pumping was occurring. All right, so passes back to Caleb. Caleb doesn't do anything. Caleb goes back. Oh, Gatekeeper off the top. That's it. Matthew Farney heads into the finals.
Okay.
It's going to be a Vampires versus Cobblade final here. We've seen this one many times,
We definitely have.
but not like this. Not like this. Who do you have as the edge here in the final matchup?
Vampires.
You think Vampires?
Yes. Just no main deck Day of Judgments, all of the removal, and there's no like Stoneforge Mystics. Like the cards that you'd always win with in that matchup are always the Stoneforge Mystics and the Jace that just bail you out usually, or Gideon Hero. But
I mean, Gideon could be making a big difference. Regardless,